ask myself, I said, major prophet of God, you are here to look at the future. And the Lord said, I am seeing in the realm of the physical what is called the introduction of full force use of what's called Biafra currency to start to be used in full force. And this was called from the month of, this was called ending of December, January, February, March, April, from now, within now and 2025. And I begin to see what's called, people now begin to use what's called tenable, this was called tenable currency. And it's written right there, Biafran currency. I don't know why. Because when major prophet of God begin to look at the spiritual world, many people will not be happy. They will be angry, but I am doing the work of God. Because the word of God is that the work of God says that surely the Lord God will do nothing on the face of the earth until he first of all has revealed what is about to happen to his servant, the major prophet of God, to oversee and visualize and begin to prophesy them the way they are written spiritually to manifest in the realm of the physical. And I begin to ask myself, I say, what's the meaning of this? Because I'm seeing what's called withdrawal of truths, and what's called a boundary, and this one called cutting out of boundaries, and this one's called United Nations, and people delegate from different countries of the world to come and visualize and also to come and be part of this thing that is about to happen, that's going to unfold. I want to say God bless you all, and may the Lord continue to enlarge your coast and continue to bless you on another wonderful day that you have made yourself available to hear the voice of the Lord and the prophecy of the moment and things that are going to be on the face of the earth. Major prophet of God, by the grace of God, is committed to spiritually scan through the future, as the Lord has given the major prophet the grace to scan. And I want to make sure that I don't add oil or add salt or add water or add any artificial, but that I may go deeper in the realm of the spirit and begin to pick out things that are written there in the realms of the spirit and begin to prophesy them the way they are, because it has gotten to the time to let the cat out. Because when the Lord has spoken to me 2 weeks ago to now, watch out, that what's called a program is coming out. And this program, I was preparing myself. What's the program going to be? And the Lord said, secret opening prophecy moment. A moment to go deeper in the spirit realm and bring everything that is there in the realms of the spirit and show it physically. So quickly share the broadcast with all your friends, loved ones, and get what's called the ultimate messages that the Lord is prepared to dish out right now in the realm of the physical. Because I am seeing myself right away as I want to prophesy. Lord took me by the eagle's wing, and I see myself fly from here right there to Western Europe. I begin to look at the spiritual world because I am a prophet that always want to know the secret things that are there so that I can prophesy in the realm of the physical. And the Lord said this was called a government versus government on the face of the country Nigeria. Then I begin to look at the spiritual world, to look at the people that are already in the seat of power right there, called the governors, senators, House of Reps, this and that, and the people in different categories, and what's going to become of these people. And the Lord said, these people are going to quietly surrender to this matter, because this is what is already spiritually written there, because the people of the country, of the people of Biafra, has decided to take their destiny into their hands. And before you know it, more appointments are given right there. Different people with different appointment. I begin to ask myself, how these people merit this appointment and different appointment given to different people. And I see this was called in the realm of the spirit, what's called contractors from the foreign countries. And I'm seeing what's called the best of the Germans, the best of the Europeans, the best of the Americans, the best of the Asians, and the best of different tribes and different continents and different states and different countries coming to now give their best, because this was called a tenable agreement and treaties and different things. And United Nations now voted a seat, and the seat in the United Nations, a seat voted for the people of Biafra to now have their seat right there in United Nations. United Nations. I'm giving prophecy, but sometimes when you give prophecy, many people are not in support because they think you are the one doing it. This is not the work of major prophet. This is not the work of anybody. This was called the work of God. And God is the one showing the major prophet of God the things to see and things to say. Because when I started giving you this prophecy, you thought it was a joke. And that began to tell you things that are going to fold from one place to another, from one person to another, from one person to another. And the Lord began to take the major prophet of God and has gotten to the time the major prophet of God finally storms Finland. Brakatoshita Brahadisho. Brakatoshita Brahasisho. Rapakatoso Fredila Caponto. Is this what's called against anybody? Or is this what's called the freedom of the people? And the Lord said, this is what's called the freedom of the people. This is not against anybody. This was called the freedom of the people, for the people have cried enough, and the time has come that people said they are going to be the government of the people, by the people, for the people, and the people, and the people alone. Which means if I want to drink water, the water will be legitimate. I will drink the water. That means if I'm married to be earning 20,000 and the 20,000 I'm earning is legitimate, I will earn it without fear. Which means if I go to the market and I buy something today in the place where the freedom is given, and I buy something at the rate of 30 naira today, and I go and sleep and come back in a week time, I will still meet it at 30 naira. And I go again and traveled for 1 month and I come back again, I still meet it at the same 30 naira. I go here and there, I come back and meet things the way they are, which means coming back to originality. Coming back to originality. Because this part of the world that we are is a place where we need to be very strong. We are in a part of the world where we should be the ones to feed the whole world. We should be the one to feed the nations of the world. We should be the one to take care of the countries of the world. But our strength has been limited, has been shattered, has been weakened, has been truncated and frustrated and made to be pocketed and benched right there and corrupted and destroyed, that we should not have the strength that we ought to have. But it has come to pass that this day God has finally revealed to major prophet of God, as major prophet of God storms Finland to see things myself in the realm of the spirit. And the Lord said, this is what's called, people go to the market today, they buy a phone at 20 naira, they go back tomorrow, and the stability of economy. This was called stability of economy. This was called stability of everything. This was called stability. This was called perfect security. This was called development. This was called marching to the world powers and taking over. And the first shall be the last, and the last shall be the first. And this was called the development of different kinds of technology and different kinds of scientific understanding and different kinds of myths and different kinds of medical discovery and different kinds of what's called scientific discovery to go to the moon and also go to the sun. And I'm seeing in the realm of the physical, I'm seeing in less than 3 years, and I'm seeing what's called the state of Biafra now launch what's called the satellite that gives the people free data everywhere, every street. And I see this was called bloggers, and this was called Facebookers, and this was called people on social media. This was called people that use data, and people come out as you enter into the road, free data everywhere. People can use data in their houses. This was called everywhere completely developed, and things are flowing the way it ought to flow. And I see what's called the white themselves coming in to now look for job, where you can now give them jobs, and you can tell them to be, help you keep their compound, help you do this, help you do that. And I'm sure what's called citizens being paid money, citizens being paid money, and people who are working paid money, elderly people taken care of, younger people are paid money and taken care of. This was called free education. This was called good governance, and this was called everybody participatory citizens of everything that is going to unfold. Because major prophet of God, many people will never ever believe the prophecy until they see with their eye. And this is why, by the grace of God, all of this while, God will always tell the major prophet of God things to prophesy and the way they are. A major prophet of God, by the grace of God, I will step out here and prophesy them the way they are, without adding salt, or adding water, or adding oil, or adding artificial, making it to be raw and real the way they are, without fear or favor, without anything, but making it raw so that people who need to see will see. Because it shall come to pass, and there will be what's called government versus government negotiation and agreement, and things can now be done based on power. Rakatoso fredila koso. Brigadia la kofrendila haso. Rapata sheka praparada sheta. Because a lot of people are still going to take their destiny into their hands. A lot of people are going to take their destiny into their hands. And the people of Biafra should not begin to rejoice that they are the only one who has done the unthinkable, who has surprised the nations of the world, who has made the world to be surprised at what they are up to. Because as they are busy, I'm so much more the people of old do at the same time doing their own, and also imagine also, and I see the people of Ariwa also doing their own, and they imagine right there. And the world begin to wonder what's going on here. What's happening all over the place? Major prophet of God is to look at the spiritual world and prophesy things the way they are, and you begin to pencil it down. Because when you pencil it down, you will not be able to know that when they begin to fulfill, you know that God has already seen it all. And that's why when I begin to sing a song, I say, the Lord has done it all, nothing remaineth. The Lord has done it all, nothing remaineth. The Lord has done it all.